The government does not, and it certainly will not be able to exist without our opinion, without our admiration, support, vote, and respect in the first place. And had it not been for our existence, had we not come into existence, and had we not been educated, thought about, and decided for governments and political parties to exist, then obviously no governments would have ever come into existence either. That is the reality. And certainly no form of government or no ideology in the world which has ever been invented and brought into existence can ever be actually considered to be absolutely and unconditionally good, healthy, productive, authentic, transformative. All ideologies actually have essentially got their goods and evils, virtues and vices, just as the human beings are not only essentially different from each other, but also with their own goods and evils, capacities and capabilities differ from man to woman. They have got not only their own sovereignty, freedom, dignity, and independence, but also their own pretense, pride, arrogance, vanity, basically ignorance, imitation, repetition, alongside their differentiated, significant, distinct talents, skills, abilities, knowledge, intelligence, character, which is quite the case, which is quite common and typical for all the natural things to have their own differences, to be different from each other in one way or another. And because we are different from each other, the government we create will also be different entirely in its nature. It will say something, but eventually it will end up doing something else entirely, which is hijacking, stealing, manipulating, and exploiting, corrupting as much human potential, talent, freedom, independence, sovereignty, equality as it possibly can to extend its own power, to apply to its own basically apparatuses, to enforce arbitrary obligations, rules, regulations over ourselves, to tame us, to exhaust us so much to the point that we automatically give in to the external and internal slavery of basically downgrade and degradation. And upon social media, we're stagnant and trained in one word now. So we're quite done. And obviously, no government in the world is bad or good, but it's the basically a mixture of both. And obviously, the Republican government obviously works for the people. It's a government driven by nationalism and also many other sentimental sort of policies, and not necessarily practical, liberal, open. But the democratic government is quite good because it believes in authentic self-distinction. It gives at least freedom to the masses, to the population size, no matter how big or large it is. Even if it's India, then also we've got freedom, independence, sovereignty at place. Although it is highly hijacked, corrupted, but still the Republican government prioritizes basically nationalism